89.3 FM. Broadcasting from Ibadan or your state brings you wholesome programs for you and your family.
Efile Emma Yukuro, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Nibe Gongon Lewa.
Top of the morning to you. We want to say a big thank you to you again for choosing 89.3 FM, and thank you so much for connecting with us this great Friday morning. Today is day 17 in the month of July 2026, and from our studio it is 6:32 a.m. Good morning to you. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo, and this is Perspectives Unlimited, where we take you through the top stories making the rounds on major dailies in Nigeria for today. And today on the program, we have the Punch and Nigerian Tribune with us in the studio to serve you the front page stories. First off, before we dive straight into in-depth analysis, where we help you understand and, of course, help you make sense of some of the top stories in the nation for today. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is broadcasting live to you from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan, the capital of your state. Once again, you're welcome to the program. And of course, we start with the headline news, and we begin with the Punch newspaper. On page 16, Senate bans preaching, hawking in commercial buses on page 16. On page 7, 2027 election, INEC unveils mock presidential poll plan on page 7. And also on page 9, Tinubu approves Lagos-Ibadan Expressway reconstruction. And now to the biggest story on the front page of the Punch for today: autonomy battle. State defiles Supreme Court, control 10 trillion naira local government allocations. 2 years after Supreme Court's judgment, state still control local government funds, says NULGE and Algon leaders. Local government autonomy stalls as joint account system survives in most states. Federal government FAAC allocation jumps 33% 2 years after Supreme Court verdict. And moving on to page 7, Kogi rescues abducted principal, NECO official, 2 students on page 7. And finally on the Punch, nurse death, Umai police fight, bid to stop autopsy. And from there, we move on straight to the Nigerian Tribune. Court orders final forfeiture of 8.94 billion naira asset, 11 luxury cars, cash linked to Aisha Achimogo. On page 6, CCPEE worries over renewed acceleration in food inflation. And to the PFIPC, Gbajabiamila sues Adeyemi for 15 billion naira over alleged defamation. And to the major story on the Nigerian Tribune, appeal court validates INEC timetable on 2027 elections, strikes down portion of Electoral Act as unconstitutional. You find that on page 21 and 22. On page 4, 210 trillion naira missing funds claim false. Bala Wunti tells Senate, says no money went missing under my stewardship. Foreign reserves now $52 billion, says the central bank governor. 2 killed, several injured in a Oshogbo shooting as police launch investigation. Troops raid criminals' hideout in Ekpe, arrest 24 foreign nationals. New bill proposes 100,000 naira fine for traffic offences. Abducted persons in a school attack rescued in Kogi, bandits killed. Security agencies free victims in Kwara community. There's a lot to talk about on the show today, but that's all we can give you on the front page. Let's officially welcome you again to the program, Perspectives Unlimited. And from this moment up until 7:30, we'll help you understand the stories. It's Perspective Unlimited after all. So let's get your view and your perspective, as there are too many sides to the stories that we have for you today. And always, so we speak and you share your thought with us. Remember to share your thoughts respectfully and diplomatically, as the goal of this conversation is not to tear Nigeria apart, rather to build our nation together and also to give us expression of different views, while together we uphold the victory and, of course, the strength of our nation. Once again, welcome to the show.
Circumstances surrounding this incident are sufficiently grave and unusual to warrant independent scrutiny beyond our domestic institutions. I therefore, with a full sense of responsibility as the Executive Governor of Oyo State, call on the appropriate international human rights and accountability mechanisms, including those within the United Nations system, to closely examine the facts surrounding this abduction and the circumstances of its resolution. Such scrutiny is not intended to undermine our institutions. Rather, it is intended to reinforce public confidence that the truth will be established and that every person found to bear responsibility, regardless of office, influence, or affiliation, will be held accountable. Under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the primary responsibility for national security rests with the federal government and the security agencies under its command. The Nigerian people, therefore, deserve a full and transparent account of what happened, who was responsible, whether there were institutional failures, negligence, or collusion at any level, and what measures must now be taken to ensure that no community is ever subjected to such an ordeal again. This is not about politics. It is about justice for the victims, reassurance for our people, and restoring public confidence that every Nigerian child can go to school without fear.
Can only imagine, and imagining it even is like believing it. It was not easy. We were in the forest, in the open, most of the time, under the sun, under the rain, with the children. But we kept going because there was no way out. We knew it's God that could only help us. So that really helped us. And the fact that we believe that people are praying for us, That also helped us as well. Personally, I was not beaten, but some of the children were beaten. You know, children, some of them are quiet, some of them are loud. And what they hate most is noise, that it attracts attention. So the youngest of them, maybe the two, Waliya and Salam, they were the one that took the best of the beating. They will close their mouth, tie it with clothes, and beat them very well. Then the men, they had it worse than us because they were blindfolded, handcuffed, and chained on the leg. All of them until they remained two. I want to see my husband. When I get home, I can think of any other thing, but definitely it has to be something that will be good for me. We sacked them off. When we started, the first week, they were bringing biscuits for them, maybe to make them comfortable. But along the line, that stopped. Then we had to move from one point to another, and that was a major problem we had. When the place is discovered, we have to move, and that starts around 7, 8 in the night. Sometimes we walk 3, 4 hours. That is most of the bruises you see on our body. They carry the last three: Salam, Waliyat, and Testimony. The girls, the secondary school girls, will carry the other ones. They will have to walk. We fall sometimes, a lot. When we were taken, my car was used to convey us to a point. That was where we met the primary pupils and the teacher. So we had to walk for about 1 hour. They brought bicycle machine and about 10 of them. So we were parked there. And we rode for more than 4 hours on charted paths. But they knew their way. No, what actually happened? I thought they left the car there. The police would have towed the car to their office. But somebody showed me the car where it was burnt. And that was not the path we took. So I think they drove it to that point before it was touched. That was not the way we took into the... Going to rural area will take the grace of God. You know, with time, I've worked for 28 years. So I have 4 years. With time, maybe I can get over it. But going that far, the distance between that place and Obunosho is far already. So I sacrifice a lot when it comes to transportation. Now, coupled with this, I don't know what will happen, but for now.
Please, I'm begging the government to release the death of my husband for me. Then I'm begging the government to help me. We have children. Olaleye John Olayinka has 3 children. Please, I want government assist us. Then, I don't have anything. This Olaleye Olayinka is the one that sponsor of the family. Please, I want the government to assist us. Please.
The governor of Oyo State calling on the United Nations to investigate the overall circumstances surrounding the kidnap and even the rescue. I thought that was the most unstatemanly. It was carrying partisan politics too far, and this Senate should condemn its unguided statement. Desist from trivializing what obviously is a national effort.
All right, welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited. The story surrounding the release or the abduction and the release of teachers, the principal, and of course the pupils and students in Oriri local government area of Oyo State is far from being over. As of course, after the release, we have also seen different level upon level, layer upon layer. We've heard statement from the governor calling on the international organization such as United Nations to step into the situation and investigate. We've also, heard from, of course, the family of Deacon John Olaleye. That's very, very, very painful. aside from, of course, the death of Mr. Emmanuel-Ojo, the security personnel, that's even much more painful, as some of us had seen a video earlier when the announcement of the release was made and the Olale family celebrating, hoping to receive their father back home, only to get the information that he was killed right in the forest. And also the statement made by the former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, right there on the floor of the House. That's another conversation. And what some people now call politics, the car gift given to the principal, Mrs. Alamu, by the gubernatorial candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the coming election in Oyo State, Senator Sharafaddin Ali. That's also another conversation, and so on and so forth. No doubt that is the biggest of all stories in our state and possibly in Nigeria for the week. And while we're celebrating here in Oyo State, in Kogi State, another abduction again. I believe that should be on Tuesday. Another abduction on Tuesday, but we're grateful to God for the release of the students right there in Kogi while they're writing their, NECO examination. Kogi rescues abducted principal, NECO official, and 2 students. Now, like I said, the story about Orire is far from over. While the Orire ones are celebrating in areas where celebration should be made, the Kogi situation is currently that happened just on Tuesday. And so many other Nigerians that are still in captivity as we speak. The senators, or the senator, also on Wednesday issued 50 million naira gift and 10 million naira each to the families of the deceased. Is that the solution to the problem? If 50 million naira was given on Wednesday, how many more millions would be given? As it doesn't seem like this security situation and attacks is looking like it will be over anytime soon. If that's the case, the Kogi one shouldn't happen at all. With me in the studio this morning to help us understand and make sense of some of the stories, the selected ones, that we have too many hot topics in the dailies today. Mr. Olale Konsoni joins me in the studio. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. How's your week been?
God has been good. How about you?
Very well. We thank God, except for the cold. But
it's a season.
It's a season. Every other one is under control. We thank God. Yes, let's talk about Orire. By the way, congratulations to us. Yes. We've not had this conversation since last Friday.
Yes.
Yes. And I remember the experience. Friday, of course, starting Friday, usually early, and then working late into the evening. I got home and then went straight to bed. Woke up, turned on my WhatsApp, and then messages all over the place. It was a flood of messages, and it just, what's going on, and then the Orire, oh goodness, we thank God. How did you receive the news? And I'd like you to take it layer after layer. Let's look at the governor's statement, which of course Adams Oshiomhole, that's serious clapback. I'd like to get your opinion of that, and also to fill in the pulse of Nigerians upon the rescue. Some Nigerians said, hey, we saw the Chibok people. We saw some other abduction in other parts of the country. They look even more destabilized. These people do not look like it. Could this be, faked and all of that? But we had the experience of Mrs. Alamu, and I don't think anyone will come out and, lie about such a, gory and, serious situation. On television yesterday, I saw one of the pupils and then the scar on his body. I'm not sure you want to do that level of drama with a child. You're not on stage with lights and sound. I'm not sure anyone wants to do that. Let's get your thought on this. Well, also to give you the report that the families of Deacon John Olaleye, one of the 2 teachers killed by terrorists during the abduction in Orire, has appealed to the federal government to help recover his remains for a dignified burial. And I know that the family of Mr. Emmanuel-Ojo also wrote an open letter to the president asking for the same thing. I would want us to begin from there.
Thank you.
Yes, let's get your thought.
Thank you very much. Most certainly, they will request for the bodies of their loved ones. Mr. Emmanuel-Ojo was the one I initially knew that was killed. If you can remember vividly, at least 2 people were killed the day the incident happened itself.
Absolutely.
A teacher and an Okada rider. That's that. A day after the kidnapping happened, they showed a very, 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 very wicked video, a very gory video of someone's beheading. And in all seriousness, I kept praying within my mind that I didn't want to see that again. God answered that prayer, but I didn't know that it was just a partial prayer. They didn't show us the beheading, but they actually killed someone, and that broke my heart when I found out eventually that it happened. Dekin Alaleye, his family has actually come out to say that, oh, please help us get this body back. Just like the family of the first guy said, please let us have a grave site for our loved ones so that at least we can remember them whenever we choose to. That is totally normal. There is nothing abnormal about that. But can that happen? It depends on how the government wants to play the game. The woman said that they didn't do the kidnapping in their presence. The beheading, sorry.
The beheading.
Had it been that they did the beheading in their presence, maybe they may have a fortified team and go back to the place to, exhume the body.
You mean probably through the principal to help them locate?
Yes. That is if it had happened in her presence, she would have known where they buried them and stuff like that. But she said that they never beheaded, and that she knew they went to kill people, but she didn't know exactly where it happened. So, there is technology. There are things you can use that without actually disturbing the earth, without exhuming, without digging, that you just scan through and you will know where was recently dug out. There is technology for that. So if the government wants to go that far, they can help them.
I'm looking at possibly, I believe they made some arrests. I want to believe they did. They made some arrests. The video of the military online, not specific, they didn't, parade anyone as such, but there's a particular clip. I saw 2 people, on the floor tied.
I saw the video as well.
If these men are truly,
Chief,
who they claim they are, they may be able to assist in
what I am saying
figuring
is
out
this:
this.
if they actually arrested anybody who had something to do with that stuff, you would have seen what they had in front of them. When they did that stuff, they didn't do it with bare hands. They did it with guns and the likes. Did you see any gun in front of those 2 men? They tied their hands behind their backs. For me, I believe that they saw those people in the forest and maybe they felt like, oh, maybe something is not totally clear with you guys. Oh, come here. That's still okay. Profile them, know exactly what brought them there. But despite the fact that there are question marks hanging around their presence there, it still doesn't exclusively rule them in that they did the job. I'm a lover of technology. And I'm very, very sure that there is technology that can tell you that this place was recently dug out. So let's put that to use here. You can spend all the billions in this world for that. I will support that because I understand what it means to lose someone you love. That's it. For the governor who said that he would want an independent inquiry, probably an international one, to come and look into what is happening here. I'm not a fan of the governor, but if your brain is working right, you cannot but support this because this is what common sense says. We have been complaining over the years that this thing is, in fact, it has gone out of hands. It's now a daily affair. And we are talking about finding people who can help us. I'm not talking about the government of a particular country here because they are not interested in helping you. They want to help themselves. But if there is an international organization that you pay them, they come, they carry out an investigation that will unravel what's behind this. Common sense shows that all of us as Nigerians should embrace that idea because I am sick and tired of what is happening right now and I want a way out. So if that is what is going to present a way out, so be it. But the day had not expired. I'm talking about the day the governor made a call for that the presidency through the Vuvuzela, Bayo Onanuga started screaming like someone who was on high steroids. And I was like, what is
that particular statement made by Governor Makinde, we played it earlier. Okay. That's quite a little low. Otherwise, I probably would have played it again. Does it sound political to you?
No, not to me. Not to me.
Do you think Seyi Makinde is trying to play politics because again, before the release, maybe a day or 2, I'm not sure now, where, of course, another telephone conversation, I think with a media house, where the governor referred to he made declaration of wanting to be president,
Today,
and
the following day.
then the following day the abduction happened, probably indicating that this might be politics. And then looking at what is called for the international organization, is this politics?
Politics to me is a way to advance your own political desires and dreams. I don't have anything against politics. What I have is a lack of regard for common sense. What Sheyi is saying right now might be political to him, but to me it is not politics. I don't want to believe that what happened in Oriri was a direct reaction to his declaration. I have been saying it here for a long time that this thing was already knocking at our door in Oyo State. I mean, after Kwara South, it's Oyo State, it's Osun State. And these things are Ekiti State. And these things are already happening in Osun and Ekiti. I mean, what exactly would have immune Oyo State from it? Nothing. And according to the principal said something instructive. The woman said that there is no path in that forest reserve that these people don't know. That they walked on their legs for 7 hours. They rode a motorcycle for 4 hours, and they didn't miss the road.
Interestingly, they must have created like a motorable or bike-worthy pathway.
So you don't do that
forest.
overnight. Sheyi declared for president 4 p.m. the previous night, the previous evening, and 9 a.m. the following day that happened. I mean, how do you map out 250,000 hectares in just less than 17 hours or so?
You know, while the military and the DSS have been able to establish that there are no two similar situation or rescue mission. This particular,
so-called rescue mission.
I mean, this particular terrorist, tagged to be an international one.
Yes.
Let's remember what happened in Chibok. Some of the, the Leah Shaibu and the likes, they are still in captivity up until today.
Yes.
Also an international mission. What makes this particular Orire incident different from, at least in particular, Chibok?
Nothing, as far as I'm concerned. The only difference we have here is that we are lucky to get all the kids back.
Do we call it luck or, well, as the military, tactical operation?
As far as I'm concerned,
no negotiation, rescue and release.
As far as I'm concerned, there was no military attack on that particular day. There was no kinetic effort made whatsoever on that. As far as I'm concerned, it was more of negotiation. I mean, between who and who.
The military said no negotiation.
But they tell you they did it.
They called it rescue and release.
Even the United States of America, they do it, but they will never own up to it. That is it. A lot of American citizens were kidnapped by ISIS.
So you're saying probably some form of negotiation.
It was not a kinetic activity.
Do you think it's monetary negotiation?
We are talking about Boko Haram here. I mean, that is the main thing.
Do you think any of their men, did they get any of the men back that Nigerians may not be aware of?
I can't tell. I don't say what I am not sure of. But what I want to believe is that those guys were satisfied with what they asked for before those people went back home.
So if we look at it from this angle, maybe the Chibok ones might be asking for something, and then the government is not ready to give in.
Yes, they said that they didn't want military presence in that particular area. And as far as I'm concerned, the government has given them some sort of leverage, because there are some places, if you go in Borno State right now and anything happens to you, the government will say, you are on your own. We already told you that this is where we can cover, that if you move an inch beyond this particular line, you are on your own. So there is leverage that the government is giving these people, and that is what is emboldening them. Like I said, I refuse to believe that there was any form of kinetic activity on that day that led to the release of those children. You know that these guys are still there. You have received the kids from them. You have already taken the kids back. What's stopping you from leveling that place? There is technology you can use that it will not tell you that you are carrying out any reconnaissance activity. You will scan through the entire forest. You know exactly where they are, and you fry them from the skies. That is not happening. My brother, trust me, it's only a matter of time before you another terrible story.
We hope not.
I hope not.
This is still 89.3 FM, Wells Radio, your preferred wholesome radio. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I'd like you to just talk about Adams Oshiomhole, possibly what Adams is thinking, his own views as Seyi Makinde, and also local government autonomy is in the news 2 years after. we're still here. We had a conversation 2 years ago on this table. We're
I'm
here
telling
again
you. And
to
guess
start-
what, brother? It happened in the month of July.
Yes.
2 years ago.
Yes.
And we are still on
We're
it.
here again, and we're going to talk about it. Bajabi Amila to sue Adeyemi 15 billion naira. We will be right back. Stay with us.
Thinking of an all-in-one digital platform that fits your lifestyle and makes everyday payments simple, reliable, and fast?
Oh, wow. Yes, please.
Allow me introduce you to BillStation, your one-stop digital payment solution for individuals and businesses. Built to simplify payments and services for millions across Africa. With BillStation, you can buy cheap airtime and data, pay electricity bills, send money instantly, make online payments, and book flights and hotels. Enjoy our overseas airport pickup services, interstate bus ticket sales, and event tickets. All on BillStation. Fast, simple, reliable.
Wow, that's amazing.
Visit www.thebillstation.com. Download the BillStation app on the Apple App Store or Android Google Play and get welcome bonuses when you sign up. Enjoy fast customer support and a seamless user experience every time. Get in touch with us today.
Email thebillstation175@gmail.com or sales@thebillstation.com.
WhatsApp 091 6858 1914. Bill Station. Your world, your money, one station.
Welcome to Junior's International School, Ibadan, where academic excellence thrives in an atmosphere of love, care, and safety. With a team of experienced and dedicated educators who inspire young minds in a stimulating environment that nurtures learning, creativity, character, and confidence. Our rich and dynamic curriculum prepares pupils for outstanding success in both local and international examinations, opening doors to limitless opportunities and a bright future anywhere in the world. At Junior's International School, we go beyond academics. We identify and nurture every child's unique potential, raising globally minded leaders guided by strong moral values and godly principles. Join us in shaping tomorrow's leaders today. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Tuesday, 4th August 2026. Venue, Junior's International School, Alafin Avenue, Uluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com/admissions or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited. Family begs federal government to recover the slain Oyo teacher's remains. In a video posted and cited by news correspondent on Friday, the deceased elder brother said the family only learnt of his death through the state government broadcast announcing the rescue operation. I am John Olale's brother, he said, one of the teachers killed during the Oriri abduction. We never knew he was killed until we listened to the broadcast by the governor. He said, what a sad way
No, the governor didn't. The state government didn't do well. They should have notified
the families before even putting out that
well.
information.
They didn't do well.
What a sad one to figure out that. We pray that God will console the families involved at a time like this. Let's talk about Adams Oshomola very quickly.
In all seriousness, I don't like to discuss people who, in my opinion, need psychiatric evaluation. With what came, I'm not surprised. He's someone who has been talking like someone hallucinating, and he showed exactly one of the reasons why I dislike him on the floor of the Senate 2 days ago. How can you call something like this politics? How can you say it is evil? How can you say it is bad? You that you are calling it evil is the one we need to accuse of doing something evil. As far as I'm concerned, Adams Oshomola appears to be sick, in my opinion, and needs psychiatric evaluation, immediate psychiatric evaluation. That's for him.
All right, let's move on to local government autonomy.
Please, before I leave, on this particular topic, I've come to realize that it's like the APC at the center is not interested in having an investigation into what is happening. Okay.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling.
This is Mr. George from Olugwe.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. You see, I've always wanted us to wait for the report from the team that went there to rescue these people for us to know what exactly method they use in rescuing these children. But it looks as if the talking by everybody is giving them guide on which area to fall to. People like Adams Oshomola and others who are criticizing Sheyi Makinde, they did not listen to the broadcast or the words that Sheyi really said. If they listen very well, they will know that.
Hello, Mr. George, are you there? Hello, Mr. George? All right, we lost that call. Mr. George, please call us back. Hello, good morning. Sorry, there's another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Miriam calling from Odediana.
Miriam, thank you for calling.
Thank you. Their family is a good one. So I urge the state government to put necessary support in place to aid the patient's recovery. Because I believe that the trauma may linger for a long time. So the government should also provide maximum security in our schools, especially those schools located at the outskirts of the town. We need maximum security this time around. I think they're going to lead our governor right.
Amen.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you, Miriam. I remember the Safe School program, but that's on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. George.
All right, Mr. George, thank you for calling.
I don't see anything politics in the statement made by Sheyi Makinde. As a governor of a state, this type of thing happened with these little children and beheading of a teacher and so on, and you expect him to keep quiet. He just wanted us to know, why is this thing continuing? He did not only say your state on alone. He mentioned even all over the country. Then why are people talking like this? People like Oshomola and others who are saying that why should Sheyi say such a thing? I don't understand them truly. It's not good. And I don't know if the military authority have given their report on how they were able to arrest these people. So I've read so many things that lead to say that maybe because they have been surrounded by military men and arrest of the family members or their family members and those serving them with food and drugs. That is the pressure that they had that made them to release these children, because they know there's no way for them to go out. Why are we now looking at that area? We are talking of politics. Can everything about Nigeria be politics? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. George. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and also 0911-3333-893. I don't want to assume all our listeners know the phone.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, and thank you for calling us.
Yes, Ruth calling from Malakia.
Ruth, thank you, Ruth, for calling.
Thank you, sir. I thank God for the seriousness of the people and teachers and their reunion with their families. But I will just keep urging the government at all levels to put the welfare and security of the people first. And the Oyo State government must ensure those responsible are brought to justice. And the circumstances surrounding this abduction are fully investigated. So, and on the Supreme Court, Supreme Court has, or the local government autonomy, the Supreme Court has already ruled on the local government autonomy. But direct payment of local government funds is still not in place. So if the government truly in support of autonomy, there should not be any delay in implementing the judgment, for God's sake. I hope President Tinubu is not politicizing this, because what we want is for the local government to be collecting their funds directly. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. George said something very pronounced and profound, rather. It's everything about Nigeria politics. Ruth is hoping that President Tinubu is not politicizing this local government autonomy. But I'll let you conclude on your thoughts on the
yes, 2013, there was mass killing in Borno State. The HCN, one of the principal parties that became the APC, said that the International Criminal Court should prosecute Goodluck Jonathan.
Did we get that?
What? No, it didn't happen, but at least that was
with
what
this United Nations
that was
call,
what they said then. So
if
you could have, if you could have asked for prosecution then, why are you not
what
afraid of investigation?
What makes own different?
That's it.
All right. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Oluwadam Lola. I'm calling from Bodija.
Oluwadam Lola from Bodija. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, it is good to know that the really students and teachers are back with their families. I just want to hold them. The state government to please do everything in its power to safeguard our schools, put security agencies there, people that can really guard schools, and those areas that have issues, that we should please guard our students so that they will not be scared of going to school, and our teachers too will not be scared of doing their work properly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oluwadam Lola from Bodija. Like I said earlier, what happens to the Safe School Initiative?
In the last 3 years, they have spent around 150 billion
naira on the Safe School. No school is safe.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Let's talk about local government autonomy. Otherwise, we're going to spend more time here. 2 years after the Supreme Court ordered the direct payment of federal allocations to local government council, implementation of the landmark financial autonomy remains stalled, despite 10.48 trillion naira being allocated to the third tier of government within the period, findings by the Punch. An analysis of the Federation Account Allocation Committee report that data from the National Bureau of Statistics and the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation collated by the Punch on Monday showed that local government council received 10.49 trillion between July to June 2026. The period covered from revenue earned between June to May 2026 because FAAC distributes the revenue generated in particular month in the meeting held the following month. Basically, what we still have here is that the monies are not going to the local. That's the that's the top to the bottom of all of this. The call has been on for a while. Let's take it. Good morning. Yes, good morning. I don't care. Thank you.
Yeah, concerning the abduction, to me, the call by Governor Shema to probe, to call on the UN to probe the people that are involved in the incident. So, Madam Moshe to come out, that is the level of hypocrisy from the side, because in Jonathan regime, you can recall that this Madam Moshe criticized Jonathan administration, and they call on the UN to probe the security ongoing in the country there. So to me, it should have been hypocrisy. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. It's been 10 trillion naira, and I believe in more, and states still defiled the Supreme Court judgment. And that brings us to when it comes to court judgments in Nigeria, you see that a lot of people will tell you my affairs so alone, I'll put it in the hands of God. And it's almost as though this is why we see real issues and people will just say, see, I leave it to God. Because if the Supreme Court, which is the apex court and the final in the country, anything after the Supreme Court, take it to God. Maybe the local government should take it to God. What are your views right now?
Well, the truth of the matter is that if local government, authorities have done what they should have done, the matter went to court, and the court ruled in very, very clear terms that the federal government should do what is in the constitution, which is that the federal government should send monies belonging to local governments directly to them. That happened in July. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, July 11, 2024. This is July 17, 2026. The federal government has not yet done that. Some people, especially in the circles of the president, Bayonoga and the likes, have come out to accuse governors of not transferring money belonging to the local governments to them. But is that what the Constitution said? Number one, is that what the Supreme Court said? The Supreme Court later came out in December of 2025 to accuse the federal government directly of not implementing its order.
The order.
They have been lying around trying to confuse the people that it's not the federal government, it's the governors. They can't succeed in doing something like that with someone like me. And the Supreme Court that gave the order actually came out to accuse the federal government, and the federal government has not said anything between December and now. That tells you they notice whether they're doing something bad.
All right, Mr. George, welcome back.
Are we surprised that they are not paying that money direct to those people? Look at Adam Oshomole that says that whatever sin you commit, just come to APC and your sins are forgiven. He is the one shouting now that somebody want to probe. Are you surprised that this money is not being paid because the federal government has not even enforced the decision of the Supreme Court? We know where our problem is coming from, and we are just beating about the bush. It is the policy of APC that is making Nigeria to remain where it is today, anchored by their spokesman, Oshomole. So please, we should talk to people face to face. Tell them this is who you are. I just thank God for what my brother said here this morning about Oshomole. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you for your call.
It is the federal government that is not implementing the order.
Because I know at some point whether an account was created for the local government from the central bank. That's a conversation. We're still not sure.
No, the central bank sent something very stupid then that what's it called? Local governments must come with audited accounts. How do you have audited accounts for someone who's not getting
receiving anything?
Isn't that insane? And as the CBN, they do not have the mandate to interpret whatever the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court said, send this money directly to them. At that point, what you need to do is to talk to the chairman of the council, the secretary, and the DPM, Director of Personnel Management. Give us your account. That's all.
Let's talk about Oyo in particular. At the time when this declaration was, this court pronouncement was made, I think it's Argon. Some members of Argon,
yes.
aligning with the government.
They even said that they did not want their home money to come to them directly.
In particular, at the time, didn't even support.
No, he said that he was not party to
and then we saw Argon, aligning with the views of
33 chairmen.
So my question would be, do you think these local governments chairmen also want their monies? The answer may be yes, but isn't all things that we play politics with in Nigeria? I'm going back to the words of Mr. George.
The truth of the matter is that even Argon Oyo wants its money. But becoming chairman in Nigeria is cherry picking. It's whoever the governor wants that occupies that role. Through SIEC, that is how it is across the country. These guys know exactly that. They didn't campaign, they didn't contest for primary. It was just the governor who handpicked them. And the governor has come out openly to say he doesn't want something like that. They had to do solidarity simply because they want to keep the office.
So that structure remains, and I'm not sure it's going back anytime soon. Is this local government, is this Supreme Court judgment going to be implemented?
If Nigerians want it to be implemented, they need to ask their candidates, what is your view? Then if you have anybody who is saying that, okay, I am going to send monies belonging to local government direct to them, then you vote for that person.
Is that enough to to be, is that good enough to believe? President Bola Tinubu said something
No,
about
see,
local
Chief,
government election,
Chief,
autonomy.
Chief,
he did it.
as far as
Now
I'm-
the Supreme Court has declared
Chief,
it, but the order is not going.
As far as I'm concerned, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the biggest hypocrite in the world right now. I have always known who he was. I know who he is. I know who he will always be. The truth of the matter is that the guy is not a Democrat. He only parades himself as one. He was able to swindle some people into making them believe that he is a Democrat. But now people now know better. I didn't vote for him. I was robustly against his candidacy then because I have always known who he is. That is it.
All right, let's move away from that because of our time. Fake agency scandal. Gbajabiamila sues Adeyemi for 15 billion. The chief of staff to the president, Femi Gbajabiamila, has filed a 15 billion naira defamation suit against Prince Adeyemi at the High Court at the FCT over allegation that he demanded a 48% kickback from a 27.3 billion naira takeoff grant approved for a federal agency. In the suit, Gbajabiamila is seeking 10 billion naira in general damages, 5 billion naira in aggregated damages, 200 million naira as a cost of the action, and an order directing Adeyemi to publish a full retraction and apology in 5 national newspapers. I mean, to publish in 5 national dailies is not even a joke. How much more? How much more the bill? Let's get your reaction on this.
I am not interested in this nonsense. The so-called fake DG ad, one of the, in fact, the most luxurious way of going to Abuja. He went to Abuja in a private jet.
In a private jet, yeah.
Bro, if you want to go to Abuja in a private jet, you declare yourself as the DG of an agency. See, I'm not interested in this nonsense. That's just
but how do you think they should have transported him to Abuja? In a bus?
Bros,
in a van?
If you want to know the real way, commit offense through, you go know what's up. Now back of trailer, I go there reach Abuja. It's all drama, and I'm not interested in it. Nigeria has a lot more issues facing Nigeria. For you to know that these guys are hypocrites, the governor of Oyo State asked for an independent investigation into what is happening across the country. They said no. The ICPC is still, as far as the mandate of the president is concerned, still investigating this guy. But Biamila didn't wait for the outcome of ICPC investigation. He went to court, meaning 2 troubles for this guy at this particular. Let's have just one trouble, so-called trouble for your state. Oh, no, it must not happen. It tells you they know exactly what they are doing. And in my opinion, they are evil people. That's just it.
Let's keep our fingers crossed and see where this is taking us to. Fake agency. I mean, if you see that as a title of a Nollywood film, people like Sam Adilere would not watch it.
Someone like me would even pay attention to
because
it.
we won't believe that we'll call the bluff of the Nollywood actors and tell them their stories are not
I was going through
but
the dailies yesterday, and I saw another thing from Atiku yesterday, and he said that there is an agency, they call it Border Communities Development Agency, that currently has 2 DGs.
Just like Emir
Kano. I don't know whether to call him former or current. The guy who was running the office before April of this year said that he wanted to go and contest for the office of governor in Rivers State under the platform of the APC, and he resigned. Alabo Dax George Kelly. For one reason or the other, he didn't emerge as a candidate of the party, and he came back. But before he came back, the president had already appointed someone, Namdas, to head that particular agency. Now, the guy who said he was going to contest for the office of the governor of Rivers State is still the one running that agency, attending meetings. In fact, he even met with the Minister of Finance not too long ago.
After resigning.
It's, as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria right now is a crime scene.
Let's talk about petrol. Rising petrol prices tightens margin for fuel importers. All right, this story about petrol, when I see it in the news, it shows me off balance. Nigerian fuel importers are facing renewed pressure as the rising international petrol price and higher freight costs increase the cost of bringing product into the country, while the Dangote Petroleum Refinery continue to limit import opportunities, according to a new market report. The latest daily refined product commentary by the S&P Global Commodity Insight said market participation expressed concern over higher flat rate and prices, with traders pointing to the impact or the Dangote refinery pricing on Nigeria's import market. Help us make sense of this particular headline.
Thank you. The cocoa is that the price of fuel is going up gradually. And as of yesterday, it had gone up by 40 naira. I'm not the bearer of bad news, but I learned that depots are now planning to sell it ex-depot, like from their own depot at a rate of 1,350 as from today. Dangote has stopped loading at his refinery. No matter how the amount of money you are paying, you cannot load today. And that started since yesterday. That means he also wants to increase the price of petrol from his own refinery. Let's now go back to what he said last week. God is a wonderful God, unless you refuse to listen to what he is saying. Dangote told us last week that the reason why the price of fuel was not falling was because he had old stock. Now the price of fuel is just rising again, and Dangote is implementing a change.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, Mr. Salami. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's talk to you in a few minutes.
Mr. Nico, good morning, sir.
Quite some time, sir.
Nigeria is now the more you look related. I think I just thank God for media people, for the press, that we are kind of getting to know more and more. This electronics anyway will happen in Nigeria. But ordinary Nigerians, I just advise, just take things calm, because if you try to put everything in this country on your head, you may just run mad overnight. What are we talking about? Is it abduction? Is it how Dangote has already taken over the economy? Oh goodness, I think. Like a brother, presents our strength in Nigeria.
Amen. Good morning, Mr. Salami. Thank you so much. I mean, if Nigerians that listen to either radio or what television feel this way, how much more some of us who see to the news?
You must digest it. You must
shout out to Koliolu and Kemisola Williams in the newsroom. They do a lot of work just to ensure that we get the timely and then the right angle to some of the stories. Shout out to Mr. Laliko Sonny and some of the analysts too. I don't envy you. Well, I don't envy myself sometimes as we look at the stories. But this is not funny. But let's end the show this morning with this story. Senate bans preaching, hawking in commercial buses. Okay, 50,000 naira fine. And so
the Nigerian Senate is
if you hawk. I mean,
preach.
I mean, because a lot of people do not. Yesterday, I was out there yesterday, and myself, Tobi Owaji and Adedamola, and then we passed by Mobile Ring Road. If you have been to Mobile, you see what Mobile is again. And I remember at some point, the Amotekun, everybody must leave. The place is back again. And then I said to myself, they don't have shops. The government take them out of that place. Where do you want them to go? Now we're talking about fuel, it's going to increase. That means everything would increase. These people will still buy food. They cannot afford to pay. To rent a small shop now, you're talking about ₦1 million in Nigeria. And so if you hawk, and even if you preach. Oh, interesting times.
Nigeria is going the way
Let's
of
get to you very quickly.
The truth of the matter is that the Nigerian Senate is now an empty chamber as far as I'm concerned. Talk of common sense, I think that thing is lacking in that particular chamber. As a group, as a body, as a house, they said that they are against what Sheyi Makinde is calling for. I mean, at that particular point, I totally lost it with them. That's that. Now you are saying that you want to ban shopping, hawking, you want to ban, preaching. I've been to countries around the world, and selling is a normal thing in public buses. It is a normal thing around the world. So what exactly are we talking about? Preaching is not totally against anybody's interest, apart from if you are living in Israel. In Israel, you cannot tell someone to, accept this, do that. You are going to jail for maybe 15 years. I don't fancy that. I don't appreciate that. It's a matter of choice. You have the right to talk to me, I have the right to talk to you. Where it becomes an issue is when I ask you not to talk to me and you insist on talking to me. And nobody is complaining about that right now. And besides, is stopping hawking and preaching in buses what is going to ensure that Nigeria is a secure country? Is that what is going to bring economic prosperity? Is that what is going to make our hospitals become hospitals again? Is that what is going to make our schools safe? And I mean, it tells you clearly that we have a priority and they have their own that is totally far away from what we need.
All right, let's end the show here. I'm sorry we can't take more calls on the program this morning, so we can make way for the Breakfast Sport, EM Sport, to come on board. Mr. Lali Kasoni, thank you so much for your time.
It is always an honor to be here.
It is well with Nigeria. Hopefully when that implementation starts, please be more careful if you're hawking. I just imagine where people who cannot afford shops, where they will sell. What happens in Lagos? The young boys on Aleshin Lawyer Road, what happens to them? Those that you find in the War Road, once there's heavy traffic on the expressway, what happens to them? And so on and so forth. We need to bring the human angle to all of this, except if the government can even help us understand it better. But an alternative must at least be created. God bless Nigeria. My name is Ayo. Roundtable, we resume tomorrow. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.